Hi, my name is Princess Raska, and today I'll be taking you through how to use Picrew. It is a Japanese image maker website that you can use to create some YouTube thumbnails. I also hope to touch on at the end, just very briefly, some free resources that you can use for backgrounds, as well as a way to edit your thumbnail to put everything together. Alright, so let's get started. First of all, I did change my cursor, so if you can see, I don't know if you can see it, it's like this little french fry or like hamburger, so it will kind of change as I move the mouse along. I did it so you guys could see it a little bit easier, just because the cursor is kind of small. But yes, this is Picrew. I did mention it is a Japanese image maker website, but I believe it's just super popular now, and there are English options. But there are terms for the images that you make from Picrew. You can, go to this website. I'm sure we'll have this linked in the description below. But there's just, it outlines the rules and kind of clarifies what those rules mean. I do recommend that you go through these yourself, but essentially a creator can mark certain aspects for the image maker, such as personal use, non-commercial use, commercial use, and processing. In the description, the creator can go in detail about how they want the image used, or like what is prohibited. Sometimes this description is in English or in Japanese or Korean, and I'll show you like this website I use to translate it. I feel like personally it is a little bit more natural than Google Translate. I mean, you can use that too. But essentially, personal use is, non-commercial and personal use. So typically, your social media icons like your Discord profile picture or Twitter profile picture, header, personal websites, blogs. Non-commercial, meaning, nothing that generates income. Commercial, which is what we're concerned about. And then processing, which I had to check with my friends who, speak and read Japanese a lot better than me. But it's just essentially if you are allowed to edit the image, like the final image that comes from the image maker. Okay? So again, these rules apply for all images made through Picrew, as well as whatever the artist lists in their details, right? In addition to. It does go into definitions of what commercial use is, right? And then the exceptions there. And then just overall what is prohibited for images made through Picrew to be like used with. I mean, it's fairly standard, like using the images in, adult content or violent or discriminatory content. So again, I do super recommend that you go through this. I will see if we can get it linked in the description. If not, I can post links elsewhere that will be easily accessible. Okay. So let's go back to the website. And so this is the main page. If for whatever reason your web page is in Japanese, there is a way to flip it to English. So all you'll need to do is click on these three dots there. Sorry, not dots, three lines in the left corner. And then here, right next to this globe icon, you can click this. And so the second one is Japanese and the third one is English. Okay. Then if you want to find one of the image makers, you'll just click this find an image maker. And very quickly, right, these are the 4 categories. Typically what I'll do is I'll just click this commercial because, again, we are making, or I guess if your channel is not monetized, I don't know. I think it's a gray area. Personally, I would only be comfortable using the makers that the creator has marked as commercial. Okay, so you'll just have to browse through. You know, there are a lot, so it's just up to you what you end up choosing, what fits for your thumbnail that, you know, whatever script you're reading. But there are quite a few. I do have a few tabs open here. So there's this one. So you can see here, there is quite a lot here. So I always make sure to grab this and translate it in that second website that I mentioned. This one does have an English description down here. And it seems like the creator has not restricted any use for this image maker, but just so you can see, I'm just gonna grab the description. I'm gonna copy that, and then I use a website called DeepL, and I find that the translations typically are a lot more natural than the ones that come out of Google Translate. So this creator says that everything is acceptable. Anything that you create from this specific image maker will be, you know, your own. There is no permission required to use this for commercial purposes. You are welcome to use this in like editing the image, the final image, and then distributing it. And then again, the last note says that it isn't mandatory that you tag this image maker and like where it's used, but they do want to see, right, like what you end up using it for. So yeah, I mean, there's all sorts, right? The next one I'm about to show you just has like 1 sentence, right? So this one here, you can see it does not have processing as okay. So this is a second thing that you need to note. Anything with a green circle means that it is okay to use for that purpose. However, if you do see an X, it does mean that you are not allowed to use it for that purpose. Right, so in like JP shorthand, O is for okay, and X is for like no go, no good. Okay, so very simply for this image, whatever final image you make, you are not allowed to process it, which means, you know, editing and filtering the color, changing the image from Picrew in any way. Now, I'm not super sure if putting it over a background would constitute as processing. I think there is some gray area there because it does give you like a transparent image of the final character. Personally, I think processing means that it's just something that you're not allowed to edit in terms of the image coming from Picrew. But if you put that over a background, I don't think that there's an issue, but you know, it's a gray area that you'll have to kind of navigate for yourself. I'm gonna use this one, and all you have to do, a lot of this is meant for mobile, so it will be kind of like a very narrow screen right in the middle for you. Hit play, and here you are kind of presented with some options. So if for whatever reason you need to see that description again, like maybe you forgot to copy paste it and you're like, oh, I don't remember what the artist's terms for the image maker were, you can go to this question mark in the top right, covered by my french fry right now, but here, and that will take you back to this page where you can see the terms of use that are valid and the description. Okay, I'm gonna hit play. And this dice here will just randomize all of the options. There is Japanese here. No need to feel intimidated. You're kind of just gonna go through each option here, because each of these is kind of like a tab where you can further customize the character. Okay, but this dice is a randomizer, so if you click it, you can, you know, randomize all of the items or just certain items. Okay. And then, you know, you just kind of pick and choose the character that you like. So for this one, this is like the body. Really, the only thing that's changing here is the type of ear. This is the eyes. Okay, so you can change the eye shape that's coming out of this image. So I'm gonna do this one. Then there's the nose. Okay, so the nose shape that you want. Then this one is the mouth. Okay, so whatever mouth shape you want on your character. I'm just gonna go with a simple smile. And then, you know, you just kind of move it through. I'm not used to using this cursor, so bear with me here. This one is the bangs. So here is where you can change the color. So you're like, well, I don't want her with brown hair. So just choose first of all, choose the bangs that you want. So I think I'm gonna go with these ones. And then here up top is where you can choose a color. So let's say I wanted to give this character pink hair, like me. Okay, so I'll just choose the pink. And then for every component, it really depends on the image maker. Sometimes when you change the color of one component, all components that are related will change. Others may require you to change each color separately. But since I don't see, like, I'll probably have to find the eyebrow one because the eyebrows stayed brown as well as the other hair pieces. So I'm gonna choose, let's see here, let's go with the braid. Okay, and then there's the side hair pieces here. I don't know, let's just go with these ones, that's fine. Then we have the clothes. So if I change the color, I can see, you know, what the uniform will look like. I do have something covering the uniform right now, so you can't see the full outfit, but it really just depends. Let's do that yellow one. Okay. You can really tell what my favorite colors are. Okay, so these ones are the eyebrows. You can have two different shapes. I'm gonna go with that one and make it pink. Okay, and then this one is the outer fabric. And then for pieces that don't have color, you won't see, you know, that color palette up top. Like for example, the eyebrows did have color, and here you can see the color palette. However, for this outer jacket, there are no color options available. So it just means that the artist didn't make any color options, colorways available. Then there's accessories, so I can put glasses or earrings or a book, right? I'm just gonna take off that jacket. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be my final image. Okay. So once you're done, there is this done button here. I'm gonna click it, and it's gonna put it all together for you. And then you're gonna just hit this download image. It's just, mine just goes into my downloads folder in Chrome. Okay, so 2 websites that I use for the stock photos. And I'm sure there's like a whole bunch of websites, but the 2 main ones I use that usually I'm able to find like really pretty images for is Unsplash. Okay, and then like, let's just, since the character was wearing like a kimono, I don't know, let's look up some like Japanese backgrounds. Okay, so maybe let's just use one of these like ryokan looking photos. I actually think I like this tea set one. I definitely prepared everything for this video. The second website that I do use is this one called Pixabay. I do believe Pixabay also has sound effects. You'll just have to check the terms of use, but I think most of them are free to use. It may depend on the person who uploaded it, but you may need to credit them if you use it. But most of them are okay with like commercial use, I believe. But yeah, so this is like another website that I use for, there's some art on here. It's a lot of photography as well. So it just depends on what you're looking for, right? All of these should be free to use. I've never found anything that isn't. And last but not least is this website that I like to use for YouTube thumbnails. You can use like any image program. There's like a ton of free ones. Like off the top of my head, I can think of Fire Alpaca and GIMP. There's like a whole bunch of resources out there where, there's these free programs that you can use that are meant to replicate Photoshop. But if you don't need that many options, right? Like for me, Canva works. I'm sure many of you know about Canva or have used Canva yourself. For those of you who haven't, I'm not sure if you need to create an account. It is easier to just create an account and have everything saved under it. But here you go to create a design. Is my head big head block? No? Okay, you're fine. Create a design, and then you go to YouTube thumbnail, and then it just automatically creates a canvas, the correct size for a YouTube thumbnail, which I think is like 1280 by 720 or something. So from here, I'm going to grab the images that I downloaded earlier, and you can just, from your file folder, like this one, you can just drag the image from your folder into Canva, and then you'll have an upload section. And the reason why I like to use my account or like an account with Canva is all of the uploads that you've uploaded before are in your uploads. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab the second image. The only thing about Canva is if you do want to export an image from here that has transparency, I believe that feature is only available for paid users. That's when I use, like Fire Alpaca or something for that stuff, but typically I'm not going to want transparency on a YouTube thumbnail, so it works for me. So I'm just gonna grab this in here just to show you, and then, you can just drag and drop. Sometimes it gets weird and it just fills up the entire space. I don't want that. Just click out and then, nope. I definitely prepared for this. It's great. Fantastic. Hold on. There we go. Eventually something happens and it works. Okay, so here I have the image of the tea set. Let's maybe do it on this side. And then an image of my character. You can, resize the character to be big or small. typically with YouTube thumbnails, you do want to fill all of the space, just so it's eye-catching because the thumbnails get sized down so small. You do want something that's eye-catching for someone who's just browsing, right? With the photo, there are a few filters that you can apply. You can do like a color filter, right? And then you can also adjust the intensity here on the left. Right, so just how much of that filter do you want to apply to the image? And they do have quite a few, right? So just edit to taste. I've personally never used these, but that's just because when I'm looking for images, I kind of already have something in mind, and I usually just download the exact one that fits my image. But yeah, if you're someone who needs to play around with stuff, that option is available. Also, here in Canva, you can add text. So all you need to do is hit this text tab, hit add text box, and let's just say I'm just gonna do like a quick message here, and then I'm just gonna do like I don't know. I kind of just play around with the numbers until it works. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this, and then here is where you can use whatever fonts. There are some fonts that are paid. A lot of the paid options are going to be marked with this yellow circle with like the crown on it. They do have a lot of nice free options, so I've never found myself needing to use this. If you do want to use it, you know, it does prompt you to do the try it for free for a certain amount of time. But again, I've never had to use it because there's just so many different fonts that you can use, and like if you click around enough, like eventually you'll find something that just works for you, right? I mean, that doesn't look bad. Okay, so let's do that, and I'm just going to, and then you can kind of see too, like it'll just tell you with like a pink line if it's like centered. So this is like absolutely centered. Right, can you see like the pink lines there? And then here, if you know, kind of keep it on that line, it'll just persist. But I'm just gonna do it there. I'm gonna close that. And you can also change the color. So with the text color, it does give you options from your photos. So whatever images you've kind of added to the canvas, it'll pull from there. So like it's showing me the yellow right from this kimono, and you know, there it is. You can also add effects to the text. There are a few different effects. There's like a shadow effect, and you can set all of the different options for the shadow, like the offset, the direction. You can even blur the shadow, the transparency, and then the like color that is being projected. There's also lift. Lift is a very subtle kind of like darkening of the space around the text. Follow gives you like the outline. Splice gives you like an outline kind of offset from the text. Outline is just outline. Echo gives you multiple shadows, which gives you kind of like this almost like 3D effect. Neon. So if you adjust the intensity of neon all the way to 100, the text will turn white with the glow as the text color. So that works for all colors. So if I set this to black, you'll see, right? Like the text is white, but the glow is whatever the text color is. Okay, and then if you want to do something fancy like a curved shape, it can do that too. And then you can also adjust the intensity of the curve, right? So a whole bunch of options here. Let's just do like none and then like this white. Oh well, it's fine. This is not an actual thumbnail, so I won't spend too much time. Last, I like to put my logo, but let me just see. I do have a white version of my logo somewhere. Alright, I do just have like a lot of projects. Here it is. I do just have like a lot of different projects from other unrelated things. Cool. Okay. Usually what I'll do is I'll use my thumbnail as also just the main persisting image in my audios. I don't know, maybe eventually I'll do something different, but for me it works. Yeah, and that's everything. So we went through, you know, the Picrew image maker, the terms of use, how to create a Picrew, save it, how to understand certain terms and conditions from specific artists, where to get background images, and how to put it all together into a YouTube thumbnail. I hope that helps. I hope that it gives you other options, not to get into the whole debate of AI and stuff, but I definitely think there are a lot of free options out there that don't use AI, if that's something that you are concerned about. And yeah, this is what I use. So again, my name is Princess Raska. If you have any questions, you know, feel free to reach out to me in the Discord. I'm around. Just ping me. I will definitely see it. Not a problem. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this helped. Bye now.